Peace and light, family. Welcome back to the Rose Garden Vibes Yoga. Today we will be doing yoga for dancers. Join me as we begin in child's pose. Big toes together, knees spread about the distance of the mat. Forehead resting in the mat. Inhale as we come into reverse child's pose. And exhale back into child's pose. The inhales, we reverse the child's pose, and the exhales are child's pose. Took a couple of rounds here, just rotating the neck, maybe the ankles, just taking some movement that feels good here. Bringing your knees together, coming into tabletop, stacking the bones over one another gently, dropping the belly, taking a couple of rounds of cat-cow. Again, your inhales will be cow, and your exhales, cat. Dropping the belly, lifting the chin, inhaling, cow pose, and rounding the spine, coming into cat pose, Go ahead and tuck those toes under and come into downward facing dog, coming on the tops of the toes, and then sinking the heels into the mat. Coming to the top of our tiptoes and sinking our heels into the mat. Go ahead and lift those toes up high and drop the heels once again. Looking to the top of your mat, bend the knees and gently step into forward fold. Inhaling for a flat back and exhaling back into your forward fold. Inhale the hands as you reach up high to the sky and exhale, swan diving the hands to the feet, forward fold. Halfway lift yet again, and forward fold. Plant the hands into the mat and step back into your high plank and lower down into low plank, inhaling for up dog and exhaling for that downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling the feet out here, finding movement that feels good for you, and bend the knees and step back into that forward fold, inhaling up for a halfway lift. And exhaling for a forward fold. Inhaling as we sweep the hands high to the sky. Gentle back bend here, family. And then forward fold. Plant the hands into the mat, stepping back into your high plank and lowering down for up dog. And then exhaling for that downward facing dog. Pedaling the feet out here. Lifting the right toes high to the sky and then bending at the knee, just opening up the hips here. Finding movement that feels good, rotating the hips. And plant that foot back into the earth and lift up the left toes high to the sky. Taking hip circles here, just finding movement that feels good for you. Bringing the left toes back to the mat and then looking to the top of your mat and stepping back into forward fold. Maybe clasping the hands together behind the back, opening up the shoulder blades. And then bring the hands to the earth, coming into halfway lift. And then forward fold. Inhale, reach high to the sky, looking at your thumbs. And then swan diving hands to feet, planting the hands into the mat, high plank. Lower down for that low plank and inhale for a up dog. And then downward facing dog. Taking ownership of your practice. Let's pedal it out, family. Lifting the right toes high to the sky. And then bringing the right leg through, coming into warrior one. Breathe here. Maybe clasp the hands together behind the back and open up that heart. And then come into a humble warrior when you're ready. Breathing here, taking ownership of our practice, and then lifting up high to the sky for a warrior one, still clasping the hands. Bring the hands to the earth, step that right to meet the left, and float through your vinyasa or come directly into downward facing dog. When you're ready, lift the left toes high to the sky and bring them through for warrior one on the opposite side. Engaging your core here. And taking the same variation on this side, clasping the hands together behind the back, really opening up the heart here. and then leaning over into the inside of that leg, coming into humble warrior. Really reaching those knuckles up high to the sky for a good stretch, and coming back into that warrior one and planting the hands into the mat, stepping the left to meet the right, flowing through our vinyasa, high to low plank, inhaling for an up dog, and then exhaling in our downward facing dog here, pedaling it out, family. Lifting those right toes up high to the sky yet again and bringing it through the middle, coming into warrior one. Really lifting and extending, and then swimming those arms behind us, coming into the heart opener. Really pressing the knuckles down into the earth, and then engaging the core as we lean over into humble warrior, releasing the neck. And then coming back up into that warrior one. Coming into a crescent lunge here and pressing into the right toes, lifting the left knee to the chest, balancing here. Bringing the hands out by our side, extending that left leg long and pulsing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing that leg behind us, coming into dancer pose here, really pressing into our hand, reaching to the front of the room, and when we're ready, releasing that leg back down to the earth. Gentle back bend here and forward fold. Inhale up for a halfway lift, flat back, and exhale, forward fold. Planting the hands into the earth, stepping back into our high plank, flowing through our low plank into our up dog for a downward facing dog here, family. Lifting the left toes high to the sky and bringing it through warrior one. When we're ready, clasping those hands behind us to open up the heart here. Really pressing the knuckles into the earth, and then releasing our neck over, coming into humble warrior. When we're ready, lifting those hands up high to the sky and bringing that right knee into the chest this time, flowing through crescent, and then lifting that right knee high to the chest, extending the leg out and pulsing for 1, 2, 3, 4, and back up, high knee to the chest, grabbing, reaching for those right toes, and pressing our right foot into our right hand, gently leaning over, finding that balance. Remembering it's always okay to have a gentle bend in the supporting leg. Coming out of it, flowing through our back bend and our forward fold here, inhaling for a high halfway lift, playing the hands into the earth, coming into that high plank, and go ahead and meet me in downward facing dog. Floating all the way through, finding ourselves into a seated position here. Go ahead and inhale those hands up high to the sky, and fold over your toes, bringing them in front of you, and just reaching for those toes, releasing the head. Remembering to keep a flat back here. If you cannot touch your toes, it's always okay to bring your knees to a bend. Go ahead and hug that right knee into the chest, wrapping the left arm around, and coming into a seated supine twist. Allowing every exhale to twist you deeper. And go ahead and release those toes and bring the left knee in this time, And come into that same variation. Every exhale is twisting us deeper. Releasing the left legs back to the mat. Let's come into a double-legged pigeon. Choosing whichever leg you would like. And crossing one over the other and extend yourself forward. The key here is you can come into Supta Baddha Konasana, you can come into Indian style, or you can place one leg on top of the other for a really juicy hip opener here. Breathing. When you're ready, just gently walk yourself back up and shake out your legs if you need to. And take the same variation on the opposite side here. Remembering to breathe and let gravity just take you further and deeper into this stretch. Gently walking ourselves up. Thank you for this practice, family. You can gently bring yourself into Shavasana or add on to this practice as much as you please. Peace and light, family. Have a great day. Namaste.